Chewing gum. It is a fun habit for many. Whether you use it to pass the time, stop an addiction, or fulfill your craving for something sweet, it has its perks. But did you know that the synthetic gum you are chewing contains plastic? Yep, that ingredient you see called gum base actually has FDA permitted plastic polymers that go into your gum, such as polyethylene and polyvinyl acetate. Pretty scary, right? And let's not forget the FDA permitted ingredient in chewing gum that is the wool grease from the sebaceous glands of sheep, also known as lanolin. This is one part of what makes synthetic chewing gum chewy. Chewing gum is also permitted to have butyl rubber, which is what you find in inner tubes and pond liners, paraffin, and petroleum wax in its gum base. So if you've ever wondered why the gum on the streets never seems to break down, it's because it's like squishing a sweetened rubber and plastic medley onto the sidewalk. But not only does gum cost a large amount of time and money to clean up, but some sources estimate that over 250,000 tons of gum are added to our planet in waste each year. And while over 8 out of every 10 sticks of gum are not properly disposed of, even those that do get wrapped up in paper and thrown away cause pollution to our environment. Since chewing gum is made of plastic, there is no certain way of knowing how many centuries it will take to break down. And even then, as microplastic particles, they will still be pollutants to our environment. Then consider another ingredient that the FDA permits in gum bases, butylated hydroxytoluene, or BHT. While this preservative for processed foods is allowed in the United States, it has been banned in several countries around the world, including Australia, the UK, Canada, Japan, and New Zealand. BHT has been shown to cause irregularities in an animal's growth, can disrupt the immune system, and has the possibility to be carcinogenic. However, the testing on humans has been limited and still needs to be researched further to conclude the full effect of BHT as an additive to food and chewing gum. Considering the toxins that can be contained in chewing gum, the environmental pollution caused by gum does not stop at microplastics. These chemicals and ingredients mentioned above go on to be consumed by wildlife, and in particular the marine life in our oceans. Unfortunately, many marine animals unknowingly ingest microplastic particles every day, such as in this tragic case. Baby turtles should not be dying because of absurd amounts of plastic in their bodies. Not to mention that invisible plastic particles, or microplastics, can accumulate in an animal's body and eventually end up in our bodies through the seafood that we consume. But what are our alternatives? Well, some 150 years ago, chewing gum used to be made from tree resin or sap, or more commonly known as chicle, which was the resin from the sapodilla tree. Today, though the market is mostly made up of synthetic products, there are a few chewing gum brands that use all-natural chicle as a gum base and use organic and/or non-GMO sweeteners. Plus, these types of gum are way more biodegradable than their plastic counterparts. Such companies include Simply Gum, Mary Bell's Real Good Gum, and Shikso Organic Rainforest Chewing Gum. So next time you want to get your chewing gum fix satisfied or want to buy bubble gum for your kids, consider buying one without synthetic ingredients that will be much cleaner for your body and the environment. It's time that we rid our streets of being blotched with multicolored patches of plastic and our landfills of being filled with small wads of rubber, all chewed up and spit out, slated to stay polluting our world for hundreds of years, leaving our environment and our bodies to pay the price. It's time that we stop the bioaccumulation of plastic throughout our world's food chains and stop feeding our cravings with synthetic ingredients. We also need to cease our support of chewing gum companies that produce carcinogenic products that will destroy our bodies and the environment. Because it doesn't matter whether you are chewing gum to quit an old habit, moisten your mouth, ease your hunger, or just for fun. Your mouth does not deserve to be filled with plastic, and nor does our planet. Join me in the mission of getting back to the basics and cherishing the trees that helped us create gum in the first place. Let's get back to the sap.